In today's video, I'm going to show you how I made a lightsaber for only 20 bucks. Now, I built this lightsaber almost a year ago, back when I had really long hair and I was a freshman in college. It was a different time back then. I built it like right after May 4th last year, and I was like, oh, I'll post it at some point. And it's May 4th today as I'm filming this, and I'm like, huh, I never posted that video. So we're going to do it now. Let's get into the build. So the supplies we're going to use are a LED strip light pack that I got off Amazon for like 12 or 15 bucks. I'll put the link somewhere. An acrylic tube I got from like a pool supply store that cost about 3 bucks, I think. Random spray paints and paints cost about like 4 or 5 bucks. A cylinder for the hilt, which you can use a cardboard tube like I did or a PVC pipe. And then everything else I just sort of had. You can literally use whatever you want. I used a craft knife, hot glue gun, and like a cutting mat. That's all stuff you could find at the dollar store. I buy most of my stuff from the dollar store, so like don't feel bad. And this lightsaber is still holding up a year later. Let's get into the build. A cardboard tube, reasonably thick, like maybe 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch thick. You want the diameter on the inside to be able to almost fit your acrylic tube, and you're gonna cut it to length. Whatever length you decide, depends on the person. And this is the battery pack we have for the LED lights that we purchased. So you're just going to cut a hole in the side of your hilt. That way the battery pack can slide in properly. If you wanted to, you could build it to where it fits more secretively in with the design, but most lightsabers have like this weird little rectangle thing on the side. So I just built mine like that because I thought it would look cool. So as you see, the plastic tube doesn't fit all the way, so we're going to use these popsicle sticks and other random pieces of wood to make sure it fits really snugly. You could also add whatever detail you want. If you want to build one of Luke's lightsabers, or Leia's lightsaber, or a Sith, it's really up to you. You can design it however you want. This is very much a process of making your own lightsaber and however you want to design it, so this is just my own design. Feel free to build it however you want. We want the acrylic tube to have a really snug fit inside the lightsaber hilt, otherwise your blade's gonna go flying out when you swing it, and no one wants that. So this is what it should look like at the end. You wanna just make sure it's a really snug fit. You can sort of test it in a bunch of different ways. I say having a bunch around the inside of the hilt is really good because it ensures even pressure around the entire thing. Now to actually make the lightsaber blade itself, we're gonna be using parchment paper. A lot of people on the internet have used different things. Parchment paper is just a good diffuser, especially when you roll it up. These are the LED strips. As you can see, they're like 1 inch apart. If you want to make a lightsaber that has less spacing in between, you're gonna have to get an LED strip that the LEDs are closer together. But this is the one that I found on Amazon for 10 bucks, so I figured it would work. So we just cut a wooden dowel to the same length as the acrylic tube, because that's what's going to be the center and hold the lights on. So we're just taping it on. You can actually peel the adhesive off and stick it on. I wasn't sure how long I was going to have this lightsaber for, so I just wanted to use tape. Feel free to glue it. So you're just going to attach it to the wooden dowel, and then you're going to roll up the wooden dowel and lights in the parchment paper and then slide it into your acrylic tube. And as you can see, it changes to a bunch of different colors. I like this because then you're not stuck with one color like most other lightsabers. And this is just sort of a test fit. And as you can see, this is the basis of the lightsaber. The rest is just detail work. And we're just gluing on the top. This is a piece of, I forgot what kind of foam. It's like thin, very foamy. If you've ever seen those like light wands at parties, it's like that. And now we're just gonna add more detail. And it's really about adding whatever you want. As you can see, craft foam, belt, nuts, bolts, a bunch of random stuff that you could just sort of put together. So this is where really my advice for the design ends, because it's up to you on what you want, or if you're building this for your kid, what they want, or if you're 40 years old and sitting at home and you're a Star Wars fan and you want a lightsaber, that too. Yeah, it's just really dependent on what you want. So as you can see here, I added like the top light shield, or I think that's called the light shield, I don't remember, it's called blade shield, bottom, random pieces. I just took inspiration from other lightsabers because it's really all your own. And then we're just gonna give this a coat of black spray paint. Black spray paint, the kind I got was like 2 bucks. It's like the really cheap stuff from Home Depot. The gold acrylic paint there, really good. The other 2 acrylic paints were okay. The silver did take some time. This is one coat of the silver, and it took me like 6 or 7 coats to get a solid coloring on it like that. So that's the silver detailing, and then we add the gold detailing, and then we're gonna start adding all of our post paint stuff. This can include like scuffs if you're weathering it, or in my case, I put a leather strap. As you can see, I didn't measure the leather properly, so I have to cover up that gap with a piece of this metal button. I forgot what it's called, like a brass fastener. They are really cool though. I added a few more on as extra detail work because I thought it looked nice. So this is the final hilt. And what's nice about this design is that the battery pack and blade is removable. So if you ever want to just display your hilt on like a bookshelf, you can. You don't have to have the blade in it all the time. And with that, the build is complete. And here is the fun montage of me running around my neighborhood like a crazy person. I hope you enjoyed the video. Send this to someone who's been wanting a lightsaber for a while but doesn't want to go to Disney and spend like 160 bucks on it. Turn on your post notifications because I have a bunch more videos coming out. Thor's Stormbreaker, I made a full Daredevil suit and his Daredevil Billy clubs. But definitely stay tuned, check those videos out when they go up. So if you enjoyed the style of video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and happy Star Wars Day.